Okay. Ang weekend ba lui ka toiro?
Jangida kullum nitkallam ana junubi anzu gabaliya wa antu tafruqiya dalu kullum nazwa nakotina maba dalu kullum nazwa nakotina maba dalu kullum nazwa nakotina maba dabni watan watan debu shuhada watan adalla sawa dabni watan.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you may be around the world. Given the fact that we have different time zone, we are actually coming live at Jiang Fadang Media to come and commemorate the 16th anniversary memorial commemoration for late Dr. John Garang Mabio, which they refer to as the Martyrs' Days. The second topic is going to address the political and military ideologies by Gerald Johnson Wolony and Gerald Garwidwell. So these are the two topics that we are going to address tonight, this afternoon, based on your respective time zone, wherever you may be around the world. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, and please kindly help us share the video so that we can actually build audience before we launch our program. Thank you very much. Take di ne ba nyok di nun te de kran national anthem ba pol for ki jog yam da call wal ko la ko lu video share. Yeah, Daniel Abdom to ten introduction below le koy kon jogwe ke bok jam tine kole ku yana benamat chale.
Okay. We quite want to work die. We check it. You ready? Yaran Jaman. Matek check. My colleague will look. They mangi again. We quite a line. We check more. Chulton Mading Mankir Macho and name Malwala. Everybody. We check them out with you. We quite a work die. We media. The young the padang. Yaran. But sharing is okay. Guy in Chamother. Welcome to Jeng Padang Media. But they might you again celebrate yesterday when July 30th, anniversary eto John Garang 16 years old. But you look at Matai later on even. So one of the time can we can celebrate together with you guys, but a call will be to jump. Iran in Motaj link and Balu enter into this forum. I shared the link already there, so you just go up there and type and look at the link, and then you can join us. So work da loy ku memorial in a loy ku ko they might hear loy one lakin ngor ko loy ku also ko additional ya dang to we jing padang they might talk be always on the social media wo jama bada wa ngolo red biya yi Johnson Wuloin yi Garwig dal yi ngaben adab den loy ki ngoy loy ki pa we koy ko no we to ko we jing padang ko bu jama biya ngo ene klo Johnson Wuloin ideology de yen ke Garwig dal ngo adab den wa bu ngor ko pen ko we ngo ko big loy zar fi mustaqbal biya da ni afanai ko anniversary Dr. John Garang had 16 years in 2005 American up to now, anniversary day yesterday. But another Louis celebrate yesterday, for Louis celebrate up to today also. And worked out on a time zone, New York time, on Eastern time. One thing, the same bill look also, worked out New York time. But they the same thing, like in time and a different. But work way national anthem, we will look at how, we quite one, we call about Louis share work. Link about Twitter we gen and link but Twitter the messenger do you also I will do that. So I think I will do if it or been ban a link chief helper and then I will send it to you and then in the job and thing. But we quite venom and you got a ban your con could you always attempt in the most welcome đại diện được phát đàng của giờ ran bên ran chết chọc trên nó của là bà mó mình là khi đi làm bà lỗi bo let the in chuk mot yan ran jamen matek and then brother Billy Look and the rest of the people will come later on. Và wo go lên nằm thế của cái chắc cái giờ đi when Billy Look, yeah, you can go away.
Yeah, thank you very much, Daniel Yord, for the wonderful introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, we are actually asking you kindly to share the video. And if you would like to join us on this studio or platform, the link is out there. You can actually feel free to join us and come and share with us. We are going to do reflection and commemoration of late Dr. John Garang Mobio. Today, we want to recognize his 16th anniversary since his death in 2005. But this anniversary is actually being referred to as the Martyr Days. I personally have a different opinion why it should be referred to as Martyr Day. It should be considered Dr. John Garang Mobio Day. That is my opinion. But before we get into that, I would like to play national anthem, since this is actually symbolizing the national event, because we are going to reflect and commemorate our wonderful leader, Dr. John Garang Mobio, and then the rest of the issues will follow. So bear with us and let's pay a tribute and take a moment of silence as we play the national anthem. Thank you.
Peace and harmony. O motherland, we rise, raising proud with the guiding star. The seas of freedom we joy. For justice, liberty, and prosperity shall forever reign. Oh, yes, let us stand up in silence and respect, saluting our mothers who stand, celebrating our national foundation. We vow to protect our nation. All of us.
Thank you. So I took Bill Look. Yeah, about your introduction.
Thank you, everyone, for sharing the video, and thank you for joining us on this special program of tonight, this afternoon here in North America. We are actually coming live as sons and daughters of South Sudan, so that we can come and reflect and commemorate our late leader, Dr. John Garang Mobio, since he fall on July 30th, 2005, following the signing of the CPA in 2005 in Nairobi, Kenya. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are actually inviting you, regardless of your political affiliation, regardless of your region or tribe, to come and join us on this particular program, so that you can come and reflect about what you can say about late Dr. John Garang Mabio. Otherwise, we are not on this program to come and lecture to you about who is actually late Dr. John Garang Mabio. We all know very well he was one of the strongest leader that is spearhead and mastermind the revolutionary uprising, revolutionary struggle, which actually led to the South Sudan that we call a country today. So late Dr. John Garang Mabio was not just only a charismatic visionary leader, he was one of the most revered leader, not only in the continent of Africa, but internationally. He was known as one of the strongest leader ever. And the reason why he was actually being assassinated is because of his strength as a visionary leader that would have done a big difference, not only to Sudan as a country, but to Africa as a continent. And so we believe the conspiracy theory behind his political assassination is well known to us as a generation that grew up under this revolutionary struggle during those dark days. So we are so proud of him. And today, on the 16th anniversary, we would like to reflect and commemorate his legacy and how we miss him today. So this is why we invite everyone who would like to come and have a say about late Dr. John Garang Mabio to come and share with us. Otherwise, I don't feel like I want to come here and lecture about late Dr. John Garang Mabio, because all of us are familiar with him, who he is, what he has done, what are his legacies, you know. So we are not here in a position to come and lecture to you about it, because we can talk limitedly or unlimited, you know, about late Dr. John Garang Mabio, because he's very familiar to all of us. So we don't need to educate anyone about him. All we just want to do here is to remind you that today is the 16th anniversary of late Dr. John Garang Mabio. And I have something to say in my own opinion as Billy Luke, that I don't feel comfortable in referring to the day when late Dr. John Garang Mabio fall on July 30th as a Matai Day. So this Dr. John Garang Mabio Day is actually being converted to become a Matai Day, which here in America refer to as a Memorial Day. So we shouldn't refer to late Dr. John Garang Mabio Day as a Matai Day. We should call it Dr. John Garang Mabio Day, so that we have to celebrate this particular day only for late Dr. John Garang Mabio, so that we can actually do reflection and do commemoration about his legacy as a leader. If we want to have a Matai Day, we should actually establish that day for all the Matais whose graves or whose tombs are never marked. So we can actually use that particular day to celebrate the other Matais. I'm not saying the other fallen veterans or heroes or leaders are not to be recognized. But the fact that late Dr. John Garang Mabio Day is being turned into a Matai Day for all the other Matais doesn't make any sense. As Billy Luke, in my personal opinion, I believe we should actually consider this day as a specific day for late Dr. John Garang Mabio. So when we celebrate it, everybody should know today is late Dr. John Garang Mabio Day. And it should only be dedicated to him as an individual, as a unique character, as a unique person who have done something exceptionally in South Sudan, or in the history of Sudan, in the history of Africa, and in the history of the world. He's a very well-known man. So let's dedicate this day as a Dr. John Garang Mabio Day. So today, as a media of Jeng Padang, we are actually challenging all South Sudanese that late Dr. John Garang Mabio Day should not be recognized as a Matai Day. It should be known as late Dr. John Garang Mabio Day. Dr. John Garang Mobile Day. So when we celebrate it, the whole nation should know that today is Dr. John Garang Mobile Day. Otherwise, I look at this as a erasure of the legacy of late Dr. John Garang Mobile. So we don't hear the name of Dr. John Garang Mobile anymore when we celebrate the Matai Day. But let's set Matai Day apart from late Dr. John Garang Mobile Day. So the fact that we call it a Matai Day doesn't make any sense. Even I have been very confused about this anniversary being celebrated every year. This is the first time to come live about it and talk about it. Otherwise, I would have done my own personal live video to challenge South Sudanese as to why they refer to late Dr. John Garang Mobile Day as a Matai Day. And it is also a plural too. The way people write is a plural. That means it is a reference to all the fallen heroes. But we want to recognize this specific day, July 30th or July 31st, as a day when late Dr. John Garang Mobile fall in that helicopter crash in Uganda or along the South Sudan Uganda border. So let's make this day as a special day for late Dr. John Garang Mobile because he's an exceptional leader and he deserves to be given that unique day to reflect on his legacy, to celebrate his legacy. So we should use this day as a day to commemorate late Dr. John Garang Mobile. So today is the 16th anniversary. And so we are not here to mourn him, but we are here to celebrate him. So that's why the topic say happy 16th memorial anniversary of late Dr. John Garang Mobile. So I want to educate the general public of South Sudanese today that we should not refer to late Dr. John Garang Mobile Day as a Matai Day. I disagree with you. So if I were to be a parliamentarian today, I would actually move a motion in the parliament to make sure this day has to be amended as Dr. John Garang Mobile Day, the day when he fall, the day when he died, so that we can use this as a national day to celebrate him. But if we want to recognize the services and the heroisms of the other fallen freedom fighters, we should refer to it as Matai Day. And it should be a special day, which will also include late Dr. John Garang Mobile. So this is how I look at it, South Sudanese. That's why I'm inviting you to join me on this platform so that we can come and talk about it. What do you think? Do you want to refer to Dr. John Garang Mobile Day as a Matai Day, or do you want to refer to it as John Garang Day? So I would say we should refer to it as John Garang Day rather than referring to it as Matai Day, because this is confusing. Even young kid or generation that were born during his death will get confused. So this is not a good idea, ladies and gentlemen. So that is a big challenge. Daniel in the party ten.
Before Ken Wolo can before Ken Wolo can
just can challenge and buy the topic. Otherwise, we took this opportunity to salute and
hello
in PNI.
Yeah, chan uống jam mà chốt jam thế nó cũng yếm jam thế này giờ loại là yếm phương âm ấy gọi là
in piang let's wing.
Okay. Bây giờ này trên before cái work cái này Johnson work lớn như vậy. Work về memorial John Garang memorial John Garang cái nào book poly là cái nên có ba quay của này jam tông mấy dạng cái week ba nó cái jam biak đến take to chat the ready day my kilo ko book we move to another topic but we quite want to dive and we quite be bent and we just more Rebecca Yok James work Miracle and Gasma we check more to yar anaban but wo ka jam wo thano ka jam bilu look ten apia buga luele tong ka waja ko be ko luele tong na no manya pa wo ko luele le lead one lead yen loy kene yete wan chi John Garang loy loin da John Garang ye yom talatin shar saba yene ye loin da yen ka John Garang ade run ke tie kudam wan ka ye ka got ka de run ke tio da temine loin John Garang kwa nge ke ne John Garang yene ran tong di da ne yene father of the Geneva Sudan kwai jal ka ken kum ko lo kwai kok ta kum chi man to sal fakir ma ya di dai lo kum fa celebration de yen nen jon garang ene kulwel wo gran chin bilu ko kulwel Junuba Sudan tek tok chigma big celebration ni jon garang wan chen to can big na loy celebrate ke jon garang ro de tok ai go loy le ke ran ban ne to 2005 can matai can matai nyo de le ke ran ban ne to 2005 for can
incorrect 2005 on the July 30th.
Yeah, for can incorrect na ko bung chok pin wo bil lu ka chira ne a chen ko to 2005 kan ye jon garang atok kanal wil le loy memorial chi ko to min 1983 ka dia different days ke chi ko to tin kwa di chol memorial ran chi nyen ma ra ten la ki ne kan ye ne wo jam ko ko na we dai wo de em approved be there celebration loy ka lui jon garang ro de to ko yom ne non to na yi ran ben family ka ran ben ti chiran nyen ma de den kana de kani chola zuma kwa de kani chol obra loy zakaro so che ya ran che to family even en loy memorial ya the same ya one day don won chi yin nyen ma ti ne ka kwai bela lo ku lo flowers be flowers la tau etiok nom yene chi jon garang ma memorial jon garang flowers ti la ka tau tiom ne nom ko ka ki de ban la loy so which is mean memorial de yen en jon garang pa chi loy non ke ma so meaning the matai de dil will non le ke matai jon garang lakin matai che jon garang anybody ran che to chi ju cham ran chi nyao cham ran chi krai cham ran chi ngoi cham yene matai de la no yene during the struggling ran che to during struggling yene lui celebrate ko ni chol matai de pa yene ken ni jo gam tin ko le celebration ken supposed to be jon garang day ku jam memorial di Junuba Sudan ja ba loy pa ilano there it should be memorial lo loy بوك شوادا عربي يلوي مذكر بتاع شوادا different كن memorial جون كرم فين كن ينا additional كعبة لكن ini rane jam tong jiang ku ini jam tong jeli da ada jana wi ko book kita bana sharing jeli da go na chaben ke rane jam tong jiang ke issue ba ben nin ke chen ka ping da wo so ini ana loi ka ba le wi tong jiang ko bi bele luk le ko yun che ping tong jiang bi le ke be English o ba le ke English be bi luk le we tong jiang pa yene ya di ke media chan ba la tin chan go la pin en kalwil pa to ko jui ke to ka ka jam pa we cha ke le chan wo lo ke ni cho la before ken wo move on wo be đinh đàn giang nó phát đàng vô lối welcome Wilson loal phải bên mà tin của ayo cái ngô các quên ok quả bung mía ya at least 5 minutes cái đàn luôn chuk lối luôn thế của ya là wo bây giờ là
tua Peter Bilu cả
okay
tua in personally thì cha cái friend okay
ngà cái
Peter Bilu
Peter Bilu I will check there so
the way before the 10 appointment che deal thing
I can lối for that fa ka we quite one we die with this they my channel really chan to jam to no ku cha jam gam literally I will work on how to send you the link taban link na cha to jin ko le to chi ja bai and then I chen kalo ba be lui te la na bi jo yin to ko telephone duin ku jo internet la na chen ka da be ko yin te je telephone duin ka chi bi tin la ki na to de kala ba to jin pa Ben Wilson I chen ka dit book be lo charawa re de yin book lo welcome to media la no wo ki gol won te wo bi lu Canada 1 minute bi look ba lagin ko ala na cha pengon ter ka yin ba dom to ko wen jam ok la ni jon garang ko loy
Daniel
rino ai chi
rana ba ber ka de rana chol gismo gismo nyoj dikel ye na ku yo ngom pa chene ke lu ku gaze do
okay fa ye ne
so I would like to clarify my position pertaining to this topic what we are saying ladies and gentlemen is that July 30th was the day when Dr. John Garang Abiyu died in a helicopter crash. And so the fact that they refer to this particular day as martyrs' days, that means it is the day when all the fallen heroes die. Or it is the day that is actually dedicated to those who have fallen, serving our nation. That's not what it is. That's why I'm saying that this day should have been known as Dr. John Garang Abiyu Day, because that was the day when he died. So we want to use this particular anniversary to commemorate, to celebrate, and to recognize late Dr. John Garang Obiu for his personal life and the public life, of which he have actually sacrificed. So we should actually dedicate this particular day only for late Dr. John Garang Obiu, instead of trying to confuse it with everyone, in recognizing all the martyrs. I'm not against the other martyrs. I'm not against the other freedom fighters or leaders that have fallen, but we can actually establish a different day and dedicate it to them as the Martyr Day. So let Martyr Day be a different day than the day of late Dr. John Garang Obiu. This is what we are saying here. I hope Achangi will win in Daniel. The
July 30th.
They actually have them. They day 12 day ko yara no maru kala again ge day dia kana ka bi look e yin Daniel galwela ge yin Daniel. Lakin na ka unbong manim gulele ye na ke day woni je all the freedom fighters dike recognize ke fallen heroes. Ke ya include Dr. John Garang Obiu. A ye kulele day a would below ke special day barau. Be all the martyrs one get Thor dike recognize. So I hope my position is very clear. My brother Gitmo, Ezekiel, I believe you are watching from Juba. So I hope you understand. I'm not against the Martyr Day, but the fact that it is being confused with Dr. John Garang Obiu Day does not make any sense. If I were a lawmaker, I would be challenging the parliament so that we can actually amend this.
Correct.
So we have to make a difference here. Let the Martyr Day be on a different anniversary. This is Dr. John Garang Obiu Day, and you cannot confuse it with the other martyr days. Dr. John Garang Obiu, I understand he's also a martyr, but we need to recognize him differently as a unique, charismatic, and visionary leader that have served us in a unique way. So thank you. I hope I'm clear. Welcome, Peter Blue, and welcome,
Wilson.
Tonaku. So, in video training then,
I Tonaku even la training and then
thank to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, those who are watching outside the studio, and thank for those House of Jiang Padang. I came late. I did not get to your speech, but I know why we are here today. I may correct you later. That is your opinion, but today I'm just coming here to do remembering of the martyrs days, to all martyr days from 83 up to the current days. That's how it was put. I got you that you are talking. This supposed to be John Garang. I think people said maybe 207 or 2 or something. So they look at the holiday of South Sudan. So there were 3 holidays come to close to one another.
Welcome, Peter Blue, and welcome.
There was the May 16, and there was July 9, and then July 31st, which is the day John Garang died. So in order to do that, and then you have a generally the so-called January 1st, and then you got so they sat down, I believe, and that's where they come out with this day, put everything, the day that John Garang died should be a Martyr's Day. That's what I know. Even here in the United States, there are a so-called Memorial Day from First World War up to the Iraq and Afghanistan war. They will be celebrated in one day. So John Garang Day is not bad, but it could, maybe the family can do that. But in order to make the thing to become together, they had to be put on under one umbrella. I know that not everybody died on the same day, but when you are in a revolution time, you will see the date you study and the date you aim. John Garang bring the peace, and then he died 205 before referendum. So I believe those who suggest that and put all these under one umbrella, it is not a mistake. It is right to me, but some other opinion, they may look it differently. But today I am coming here to celebrate those who sacrificed for our country. I will say that you were not died in bench. We got the country that killed you, from the top leader of the High Command, John Garang, William Nguyen, Rabina Kwanyin, Arangoton, and the list can go until the last Jundi. So it is a good day for all of us. Ya Jama, it is we Jinubin does not see people who serve in the army are not important. But here in the Western world, even you went to the army for three months, they see you like somebody sacrificed his life for the country. That's how the white men review the people here, those who serve in the army. But in case of South Sudan, we just take it for granted, which doesn't make sense. For today, I am coming here to celebrate with my comrade who lost their life from 83 up to the current war that we are in. I will say, you guys make it great. You put us on the map of the world where we have a country called South Sudan today. Without your sacrifice, we will not have something called South Sudan. It took us 21 years, and a lot of people died. They did not die in one day. They did not die in the same year or the same week. But the country put them into John Garang Day. That should be Memorial Day for all of you guys. And also thanks for the family who lost their parent during the wartime, their parent or their children, or their, I know it should be a time that people or the country or the leadership should see and recognize the people who lost the loved one during the wartime. But in that case, that's what not happened from Jinubin. We know our leadership from the SPLM, they failed. They were all looking for power angle. A lot of them, those who were followed John Garang, those who were under Salva Kiir, in order to serve and support Salva Kiir and give themselves a time. Like some of them, that who take country back to the another 8 years now, where we have a lot of martyrs lost again. It is a shame on us. It is a shame on those leaders, not entire SPLM, especially the so-called John Garang, which I don't believe on their title. John Garang, Awalad Bitao, de Jeshalamri, how can Binadu, de Awalad Bitao, plus his own biological children. Lakin and Nazil, it was a nickname given by Bashir to make those of Paganamum and the others group feel that they are very close to John Garang, and they take that seriously. And that's where we mess up. They think that they are more close to John Garang than Salva Kiir Mayardit, which is totally wrong. Salva Kiir Mayardit, Garang appointed him on a daytime in Rumbek before he died. Everybody know there is the video clips. If there were so-called John Garang would have to appoint one of them. But John Garang does not trust all this except Salva Kiir Mayardit, and that's where he say in a Dinka language. Era antikoike yen kwa kira kon war menejorer runtro kutok. Kwa yenerani ayuk, yenerani akira andanga qualify more than Salva Kiir Mayardit. Kena bane ne ton tonyi junub. Kufele na ayuk shi John Garang. John Garang choice was not a mistake to me. It was the right choice. If the so-called leadership of South Sudan, given some of the doctors that we know, I think we will be end up in Jalaba Hen. We will not have a country. Jalaba can board them in daytime. But because of the men who sacrificed, Comrade Salva Kiir Mayardit, that's where we have a country. He was not looking for money. He was not looking for richness. But what we can say to our martyrs, families of the martyrs, let every patient. Time will come that those who were in the SPLA, who know the suffering we went through, if they come into leadership, I think the thing will change. The thing will be changed, And I think there will be recognition of the all martyrs, regardless of what. And there should be reward to them. Seeing the money were taken by this group of G10, and because my finger point to so-called G10. This is where the people take us back, including the Riek Machar, to this 7 years of war or 8 years. And a lot of them now are being rebel, and all of them are millionaire. Don't be surprised. These were the people who took, who divide the money to themselves, $3 billion US. Even though they are living in outside the world now, they are millionaire. Don't be surprised. All the so-called G10 and the other, all these rebels, even some of the governors within South Sudan, where the oil rich, they are millionaire. Somebody like Kunpot, who was taking our 2-3%, he's a millionaire. Somebody like Taban, who take 3% of Unity State, he's a millionaire. But the blood of the people who died, I think, will not let them go. And that's why all of them fail not to take out Salva Kiir Mayardit. Salva Kiir Mayardit is standing with people who died and the family. But at this movement or this time, I'm saying that it is time for South Sudanese to realize that it is time for peace now. 8 years has gone, we never achieved anything. So let's not kill more people. Let's save people who are still alive with this Nyangorobita peace, and let avoid all this rebellion. Those who are still hoping that, and this is where I disagree with the rebellion mindset, that we will take out the president by force. Then we will end up like in Nigeria in 1990s or 80s up to 90s. A coup after coup, a coup after coup, a rebellion after rebellion. When you don't method, anyone who wants to come to power had to do something. And the country will be had war. And that's why I don't support the idea of the rebel. We've been in a rebel since we were in our childhood. We know what it is. Mosquito eat us. The Beb, Talgat, Jan, and all these bad things of the rebellion. Those who went to Bush for that time, they know what is rebellion. And that's why now they were misled by some of the SPLM members to join this rebellion, and later they turn out to live in a hotel. They are not even in the bush. Those rebellion leaders who are now calling themselves, they want to change the country. I will call you today, come back to the country, let's have this peace, let's have a new constitution, then let's propose the election to take this president out of election. So we will not have another bad boy coming tomorrow trying to do another coup and take us back to another 8 years. So tonight, my fellow hero and heroine, we are here tonight. If the dead people can hear people, a lot of us who are still alive, and those who lost their limbs, whether legs or eyes, they are still there in Juba. They never have anything. Some of the generals now, they don't even have their own tukul. But if you go to Juba, these very general who are still alive, those rebellion who rebel, I mean, the so-called SPLM leaders who rebel, they have their houses everywhere. In Juba, with the big fence, like Ojbita UN, they have them now in Juba. They have them in Uganda. They have them in Sudan. They have them in Addis Ababa. They have them in Western world here in the United States. People like Pagana Moom, he's living with the house of $1 million here in US, Colorado. And he has a house in Canada. He has house in where? In Australia, where there are family there. And not only Pagan, all of them. So it is time for Junubin to give ourselves a peace and stop rebellion, thinking that you will take Salva Kiir out of rebellion, it's not going to work. This guy has fought 2 rebellion. He was a member of Anyanya one, and then the SPLA. And I believe those rebellion of today, they'll just minimum after minimum. Those who are watching rebellion, they never witnessed those rebellion. And that's why I say before, if those commander of the SPLA were in bush with people, those who are 10 out living in a Western world and calling for a rebellion, I don't think it's going to work. John Garang used to come to Bill Farm in the bush. Those who know the Bill Farm is in the middle of the small rivers, somewhere there. He will come and spend day there. But do those leaders of rebellion today, they are there in the bush? No. They are in hotel in Uganda, Kenya, outside. Tonight, we are celebrating with you, the family of Matthijs, and I will say SPLA, we did a great history. My message to those who think the whole SPLM is become worse, they want to take the SPLM out of South Sudan. Until Jesus comes, it's not going to be happening, Jama. For those of you who are looking for that one, thinking that the entire SPLM is bad, not only leadership, not the leadership, you are making mistake. SPLM have 1,000 of members. Members of Jaish al-Amr, members of Jaish al-Aswad, a member of the Katiba Banat, and members of the Yal Butau, Yalu. Who will accept here your grand or your father history should be twisted by somebody who was not a part of the history? No, nobody. So for you, those rebellion who are hoping that you need to take away the entire SPLM, I don't think it's going to work. For you guys, you are wasting the time. All you can do, form your own strong party, make your history, then compete with the SPLM democratically, where you can defeat SPLM through ballot box, not by gun. That's my message to those who want to rebellion. The SPLM, those who were in the SPLA, SPLM, they can be fraud of this history. They bring the country, even though they are not, some of them, they did not see it. Some of them, they are not enjoy it. Some of them, they are for. Some of them are asleep on the street of South Sudan. But we will still recognize them. The history will not forget them. We will see them as our hero who bring the country of South Sudan into the well image or to the well map. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, let all celebrate to our hero and heroine, from the Jundi to John Garang. And I will say SPLA, SPLM, Tari, and all this name. With that being said, I will stop here. I will give chance to the others who are in the studio. And today is an SPLA, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Brother Wilson. Peter Bill, if you're still there, we're gonna give you the chance before we move to the next topic. Celebration for today. We need your input. The same like me, like Bill, look like Wilson. So we want to give you a chance. If you ready, you can go ahead now. Unless if you're not ready, let me know, and then we have another topic. We will like summarize. We don't actually have it exactly the topic, but we need to summarize that topic, and you will be a part of it too. So if you listening, we're gonna give you a chance for July 30th, Amatai Days, and John Garang Day. What do you see? What do you say about this celebration?
All right, Brother Matectix, Brother Bilulux, Chairman Wilson. First of all, let me say SPLM Woye and SPLA Woye. First, I want to thank my colleagues in the SPLM and SPLA. Our martyrs, we celebrate today their legacy. Without them, we won't even have the Republic of South Sudan. First, the sacrifice, those who died did not die in vain. We have now Republic of South Sudan because of our martyrs and fallen hero. I agree with Brother Peter Lux with saying that July 30th, the death of our leader that have led us 21 years in the struggle, should not be combined with a martyr day. July 30th would have been designated John Garang Day. It would be our federal government. So you hear me, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I agree with Brother Peter Luke on that day. You know, everything's, yes, it is designated as a martyr day. Then I hope there will be time where the martyr days and John Garang Day will be celebrated. I completely agree with him on that day. You know, sometimes when I think about the history of South Sudan, it reminds me the history of Israelites. If you read Exodus and you read Numbers, those two books talk about the struggle the Israelites had. And even some of the Jewish people were turned against Moses, who better might led them to promised land. Those people end up forgetting a miracle that God had performed. They turn against their own leader, who took them out of Israel, out of Egypt, led them to promised land. The Israelites spent 40 days, 40 years around before even they reached promised land. They were wandering around that area before they reached the land that God promised to them. Dr. John had spent 38 years combined. Only 2 years left would have reached exactly 40 years that the Israelites spent in the wilderness. So the reason I came up with 38 years, it was 17 years. All of you remember John Garang was in the first movement. That was led 17 years, end up with 1972 Addis Ababa Agreement. And again, they're starting with SPLA. Then 21 of a struggle, when you combine all, it will give you 38 years together. That was the time that we were spending, fighting for the right of people of South Sudan. Our history very much similar to the history of Israelites. When Jews were let out of Israel by just it was only people that were under by Moses. Those who were under 20 years of age, they died. They never made it to promised land. Those who were 20. So they spent 40 years. Those who left Egypt when they were 20, they both, had died on the road till the young generation that were able to reach there. The leader that were there was Moses, all gone. So Moses came and died when they approached promised land, and Joshua led them to promised land. If you see our history, those who were in Etam in July 1982, when SPLA was started, all of them, 4 of them that were with John Garang died. It's only Salva Kiir that have led. Yes, in negotiation, if you look at biblically, Garang reached us into a destination by achieving that negotiation, but did not reach it to the time where he should have been our first president. He died before the government of South Sudan was established. Salva Kiir led us into independence of South Sudan and made us our leader. Because of our greediness, some people lack patience and want to rush and want to get things in quickly. put us to the situation that we are in today. You know, any man-made disaster can be fixed by us. It is our responsibility that we as a diaspora, that I'm confident, I believe that our world, if we come together as a diaspora, where we live, we would be able to put pressure on our politicians in South Sudan to bring peace, a lasting peace that would bring unity and tranquility to the people of South Sudan. This is what I wish, and this is all of us as a diaspora wish for. I do not want to see any South Sudanese killing each other. We still have a lot of work to do. We still have border demarcation that have not been finalized. Our journey, our final destiny, we have not yet reached there. Yes, we actually got 80% of South Sudan land, but we still have a long way to go where we'll say, yes, we got all our territory that we want. Unity is the only thing that would bring Abiy on our side. Unity is the only thing that would make us get fun. So our unity and peace among all South Sudanese tribes is the only thing that would make us get 14 Mile. This day is a day that those of us who were in SPLA, we would never forget. Our Matai days this is a memorial to us, similar to Memorial. This is our Memorial Day, remembering our fallen heroes, what they fought for. We have the government of South Sudan because of their sacrifices. And let me pass this message to all the children of martyrs. We, the SPLM, SPLA, we will never forget your contribution and your father's contribution. We always remember you in our prayers. So that's the only thing that I can contribute, brother, when it comes to Martyr Days. And I agree. I think something can be proposed by sending even a letter to South Sudan Parliament that let this day be designated John Garang Day. Not just only having the day designated to him. I would love to see the capital of South Sudan be named John Garang City, where we will have John Garang International Airport. That will send a strong signal that we have not forget the contribution of what John Garang have done. We have not forgotten what John Garang have done to us during the time that he had led us for 21 years of war. So that's the only thing that I can add, Brother Matektex, Brother Billy Lux, and Chairman Wilson.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Billy. We also recognize and appreciate you for your service as well as a revolutionary veteran. We are so proud of you. Not only are you a former freedom fighter, you are a man of peace, you are a man of unity, you are a patriotic potential public service that we are looking forward to work with in the near future, given your resilience, your pragmatism towards South Sudan, about unity and how people can actually work together. You are a man of peace. So we salute you and we recognize your service as a former freedom fighter. Today, like I express my own personal opinion regarding this particular day, that it should be recognized as a Martyrs' Days. Doesn't make any sense to me as an individual, as contrary to what Wilson just said. This was just a personal opinion, and I think Brother Daniel agree with me, Peter Blue agree with me. Some of you down there who are commenting agree. Some of you, maybe you disagree. Those who actually dedicated this particular day as a Martyr Day, they got it wrong. And the reason is because it was the day when late Dr. John Garang fall. It was the day when he died. And so we want to recognize this particular day uniquely and purposely for late Dr. John Garang. So we can use that day to recognize him as a unique person, as a unique leader who have done something exceptional to South Sudanese. or to Sudanese in general. So that was my opinion. That was my argument. And I'm looking forward in the future, there is going to be a parliamentary bill that is going to be introduced. So there should be a legislature that is going to take place regarding this confusion. And I know those who did this, they were politically driven. I know there were some people that have grudged with late Dr. John Garang of Youth, so they didn't want to recognize him for that special day. But this does not mean that we don't recognize other veterans, like our late Guy Tut. Guy Tut was a great man. He was one of those Nyanya II that refused to be integrated into the Sudan Armed Force following the peace agreement that integrate all the other Junubin into the Sudan Armed Force following the agreement of 1992 in Addis Ababa. So we recognize Guy Tut as the leader too, despite the fact that they came to disagree over the leadership issue when they met in Bilfam with late Dr. John Garang of Youth. We still recognize him as a leader, as a hero. And I believe it can be given a day too, if it need be. But everything has to be legislated. It has to be moved through the parliament, and then the parliament have to fare that particular day to recognize a certain hero. So what I'm arguing here, we should put things in a context whereby a special day has to be given so and so. But it has to be done by the legislators have to do that. So I believe each and every hero in South Sudan do count. So we are not saying that we don't recognize the other veterans or revolutionary leaders like late Guy Tut, late Abdallah Shuol, or late William Nguyen Bany, late Garbino Kwanyinvol, late Aranguthon Arok, late Wilson Kur, and the list goes on. We have so many heroes that need to be recognized. So it is up to South Sudanese whether we can debate this in the parliament, that we have to designate a special day for all the martyrs. That will also include late Dr. John Garang of Youth. It will include late Guy Tut. It will include everyone. But what I'm arguing here is the fact that this special anniversary has to be designated uniquely and specifically for late Dr. John Garang of Youth, so that we can talk about the legacy of late Dr. John Garang of Youth. But I know there are some politicians out there that made this political move and say we have to consider this as a martyr day. I know it was politically motivated. But anyway, this thing was not debated officially or formally. It has to be legislated by the legislature of South Sudan. They are the one to amend this in the future. That's what I'm perceiving at this moment. So thank you very much, Peter Baliu, for your wonderful insight, and to Daniel and to Wilson. I think there will be an argument. So if there is more, debate about this, then this is time now to try to engage ourselves as South Sudanese. So we talk about this. So this is just a matter of opinion, but we are not in a position of leadership to actually do something about it. So mine was just a personal opinion, and I hope nobody has ever talked about it in social media. I think this is the first time we raised it, and it has been confusing to me why they refer to late Dr. John Garang of Youth Day as a martyr day. So even when they talk about martyr day, it is very rare to hear the name of Dr. John Garang of Youth. But that was the day when he died. So anyway, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I think you have your opinion too, and we respect it. But don't misunderstood us that when we say this day has to be designated for late Dr. John Garang of Youth, that we do not also recognize other fallen heroes or freedom fighters. No, that's not the case. What I'm saying is this is the day for late Dr. John Garang of Youth. We cannot refer to it as the day of all the other martyrs. That is, I consider this as a disrespect, and it is like denying late Dr. John Garang of Youth a special day. And that's why I refer to it as politically motivated. So thank you. For those of you down there, if you want to join us, feel free. Feel free, because this topic is a public topic, and you can contribute to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Billy Luke. In other dear check prefer one dear so on the book of play in 5 minutes. Ling a cheat teacher common ni tike one time
Ye ne ban ling
No,
lang
I
lakini
hear
chen ti lang
no, I hear ling I hear you to the common ela you to the title to when be Peter Billy I don't know a ball ling I hear in the bite and a common ling a yilla bite and a title.
kaya na ko raw ko
chi ko ko yo kana ke ko lo la
Okay.
title buta topic right
Brother Matete.
Hello.
Yeah, the way you send it through the top. That's why I was able to.
Yeah.
On
For
the
those
top.
who want to comment, you will see the link on the top.
You will see it on the top, yeah.
Yes.
So that is why I sent to other people too. I sent to Brother Myakol to his text message, and everybody there should see on the top there.
so they have to click the top of the right side or left side.
Yeah, and the title, you go to Padang Media where it says Padang Media
Yeah,
is
only on
live.
Padang Media. The
Yeah.
media.
Fadang Media, you will see it. Click it and you will open it. You will come in. In Banyakol Mayom.
Makol Makol dang I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, call doesn't come here.
I used to come, but we can play some song if there are song. Daniel, you prefer.
I can't a clip any chalo prefer kida.
Yeah, you need more than paying Banya Bielkon.
Abiel is not here today.
I saw him. He wrote something, and I think it's following us.
I think I would like to read to you this quote. This is a very special quote by late Dr. John Garamabiu. It said, "Our blood will be shed because I hate oppression and marginalization of our people, but I will not even enjoy the fruit of this struggle. After our job is done, that generation will take over. They will cut a large piece of land with the pangas and sell it cheaply for a bottle of beer." Dr. John Garamabiu, South Sudan. This is a very special quote I've actually taken from his speech. And this is very, very special remark that we need to reflect today, given the current circumstances or situation in which South Sudan in today. It reflects exactly what late Dr. John Garamabiu predict.
Correct.
You know, this is very unfortunate. So that was the purpose why we took up arms to join the revolutionary struggle. And now what happened? The people who took over the leadership today, if you want to do something better for our country, you need to reflect on this statement made by late Dr. John Garamabiu. This is very, 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 very critical remark that need to give you, kind of self-evaluation and reflection about what you have done wrong or done right. So what do you think about this comment, ladies and gentlemen?
Well, Brother Billy, I think I never heard about that. That is exactly what is going on right now in South Sudan. Exactly, if you compare the current situation, mostly. Sorry, if somebody called me, I did block him out. First of all, let me answer this lady. Gisma, her name is Gisma. And he said John Garang is not the only South Sudanese that liberate. What we are saying, as you heard from Brother Bill, made it very clear. We are not saying that it's just only John Garang that will be, remember as a liberator. But we remember all our fallen heroes and martyrs. If we say, let his death be designated as John Garang does, it doesn't mean that we forget the rest. But we still remember all of them. The people whom you mentioned their name. Nobody will forget the contribution of Comrade William Yuan Bine or Nial Deng Nial Ding Ding Nial, Ding Ding Nial, as you mentioned his name. All those are fallen heroes, one way or another. We all remember them and we admire their contribution. We are not denying them in our history. Come to your point, Billy. If you see the situation that we are in, it is exactly what John Garang quote in his speech. Right now, we really need to remember those words from John Garang. You can have money, it doesn't matter how much money you have. If your time comes to leave, legacy. As today we are talking about what John Garang has done and the way that he has led us. That is a history that normal human people want to have. You want your people to remember you the good thing that you have done. If you would be remembered from you killing your own fellow citizen, that history is not a good history.
And looting your own country.
Or looting, stealings. You can have all this wealth, but if your time comes to leave, you're going to leave all this money. I think that quote is actually talk about current situation that South Sudan is in, because people are being bribed, pay money to go and do bad things. And there are some politicians that are paying people money to destabilize South Sudan, and those things are happening. Giving money to certain group of individuals to support their ideology, there's, whether not saying this stupidity, but if you think you can go to the top by killing people, who are you going to lead if you're done killing them? See, sometimes in a society like South Sudan, that's where such things are happening. I hope our generation would be able to say no to those uncles that are divided us, using us to kill each other, to say, no, your time is over. You need to, sit there, let move South Sudan forward.
Yep. Ben Peter, I thank you very much. You still gonna be here. And then we look and Wilson, and then we say hi to Abiel also. Is in trip to somewhere there, so he watching out there. We will move to the next topic, and I will be leaving soon, and Bill, look, I will leave it here. The next topic is about Johnson Wulunyan Garwidwal, and what we was to tell you before we tell you, I want to put this text there, and this is exactly what we was to talk about. You can read this text. This is the text we was coming for, and somebody come before. Even we tell you guys what we want to talk about. This is what we want to talk about. The guy, he wrote it to you there and telling you exactly what we want to talk about. So, Billy look, Loba, Latwing, Kana, Jonathan Wulun, Kujana, Garwidwal, and planning Loyrod, Kuya Kuwaidi, Kujana, yen topic, yen Chirani, Chol Jim, is a web god cannon. It's the same thing what we were talking about.
Topic in a book, a book and tell me about it. I
got it at hand, a car got it and that I already ate. I
So, okay. Maybe we can do it another day if it will actually distract. But I think this topic is already exhausted. Otherwise, I can see some people are here requesting the link, and I send them, I share the link now. So we're going to wait for them. We can share there the other one.
We will be waiting.
It's not a big topic as well. It is just to educate the general public about why General Johnson Wulun actually took up arms. So we want to clarify to South Sudanese the military and the political ideology or political manifesto driving General Garwidwal and General Johnson Wulun. So these two military generals, they have two different conflicting political and military ideology, or which they took up arms for. So we have to make sure it is our obligation as a media to educate South Sudanese, so they have to understand exactly what are they in common, what do they have in common, and why are they forming military alliance. So for us as Jing Fadang constituencies, we have the right to educate our general public so they understand what is the political interest or mutual benefit between these two military generals. So it is very clear that General Johnson Wulun took up arms to fight against Jing Fadang over the territorial dispute. That is obvious. And I think we have actually played several videos about his interview for the last year, and everybody believes that. And that is exactly the main mission of General Johnson Wulun. But what we have also learned as media of Jing Fadang is that General Garwidwal has another political ideology that is yet to be announced, but yet we know already that they have this political manifesto calling for the succession of Greater Upper Nile as a region to be established as an independent country, given the fact that they cannot actually liberate the entire country. So instead of wasting life fighting for the liberation of the entire South Sudan, again, is anyone they refer to as oppressor, they would rather fight for the liberation of the Greater Upper Nile region. That is the political ideology of Garwidwal as we speak, and those other military officers that are part of his command. So that's why they differ with that. And I believe Dr. Riek Machar is not part of that. So we came live here, ladies and gentlemen, to educate you about what is the pragmatic manifesto of Gerald Garwidwal. So this is what it is.
Okay.
But you may
brother,
something that is going to come out anytime soon.
Brother Bill, I have a meeting that I'm going to, and I want to say something.
Peter.
Okay,
I want to say something on these topics. I heard you. I think it was the day before yesterday. You were saying the same thing. I think I'm very much aware of the point that you're heading to. You have two topics combined into one topic. General Johnson Wulong and the Chief of Staff of SPLM-IO, Simon Garwidwal. But I will say something about Garwidwal. I don't know political ideology of Johnson Wulong or what he wants. But when it comes to Garwidwal, what you just say that Garwidwal want to fight for the separation of Upper Nile as a separate country from the rest of South Sudan is not true. Let's say right now, let's say if he's a good time, if I want to call him, I can call him and bring him online. He would even say exactly what you said is not correct. People from our community talk to General Garwich 24 hours. Garwich has issue when it comes to implementation of peace agreement. Garwich also has some problem with Riek Machar. That is why it's in Maganis. Garwich does not want to fight with anybody. Garwich does not want to, Upper Nile to separate from the rest of South Sudan. That is not true. I would say that is totally false allegation. Even last Friday, which is this Friday, yesterday, the members of Nuer community talked to General Garwidwal. Garwidwal has never mentioned something similar to what you have said. Garwidwal still insists.
I guess it made a confidential manifesto at this point, but according to the intelligence, that's what we are receiving.
But we are getting.
So you want to remain confidential as well, as you may know.
The information that I'm getting directly from General Garwidwal. Garwidwal does not want to fight with anybody. Garwidwal does not even want to fight with the government of South Sudan, but he has some leadership crisis with Riek. Now there's the leadership of Iowa want Garwidwal to replace Riek. So when they are working trying to settle these differences, so everything is put into hold, and there are, mediator working between Riek and Salva to solve their differences. So that's the only thing that I know on the side of Garwidwal. Please, that is not true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, Peter. In order to believe in what you just said in dismissing this.
Yes.
Bilaluk, you want to say something?
Peter,
you mute yourself, Bilaluk. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to give you another question. You just also dismissed that you have no idea what is the ideology of Johnson Wulong. Johnson Wulong's position is very clear. He's fighting for the land. But the fact that Johnson Wulong associate himself with Gerald.
No, I know that point. Sorry.
That also threaten us.
No, Concord, Bilaluk. I think on that.
Okay, but you seem to be dismissing that as well.
No, I'm talking about the separation, that point. But we all know Johnson Wulong is fighting for land. He had said it himself when he was interviewed. Oh, Billy, I think you mute yourself. Billy.
Yeah. No, we are you. Yeah.
Okay, Billy.
No.
Yeah, Johnson Wulong, we know what we fought for. He made it very clear that he won the land. I'm talking about when you say separation, of Upper Nile, that's what I was disputing. I said, when it comes to Johnson Olonyi's political view, we all know. He had said it when he was interviewed, that one of the reasons in first place he defected was he claimed that his land was taken by Padang. And he wanted to claim that land back. So he had spoken. So what I was answering your specific question when you talk about two leaders are, having allies to separate Upper Nile from the rest of South Sudan. That was the only question that I was answering. But we know he want to fight with Padang. He want to take, the land that he claimed was taken by Padang. We all know. But that's
but Peter, to be honest with you, this political rhetoric is actually coming from your constituencies where you just come from. I don't want to say call names here, but this political rhetoric about separating Upper Nile from South Sudan to become an independent country is actually coming, most of the politicians from your own community or constituencies where you come from and where Garwidwal come from. Don't you believe that Garwidwal is going to be influenced by them? And I know predominantly they are behind Gerald Garwidwal as we speak.
I know the person you're referring to, Comrade Billy.
No. Peter.
Most of the followers entertain it.
Peter, I believe what you're saying there, and Billy Luke is his opinion anyway. Nobody have exactly the answer. It's his opinion, but like you say, Peter, I can believe you because being separated, the Upper Nile has been saying before, even Garwidwal did not with Olony, Olony is somebody, even the link I post here is a one of the Shuluk, is the one who say, Wilton, you don't need Upper Nile, SPLA don't need Upper Nile because SPLA don't need Upper Nile because Upper Nile will be independent. You see, this is not Johnson Olony. This is something coming from the Shuluk part, as I know. But they want to make Johnson, they want to make Garwidwal to fight for them to make sure that they have enough forces to fight. But what you say, Peter, I understand what you're saying. But I've been here this long time ago, not today.
Pose another question.
Yeah, I've been here this thing long time ago.
The right person to answer.
So you can go to the meeting, Peter. I believe what you're talking about, but this is just an opinion,
Let Billy ask me this question. I can answer two of you, and then I can go to meeting. Billy, go ahead.
Go with one question.
Billy.
Yes. Okay.
Go ahead.
What we are concerned at Jing Padang Media or as the constituencies of Jing Padang, because this is what we advocate for. I'm being honest here and sincere and straightforward because I don't like to linger like other people. I don't like the status quo. And you know me very well, Peter.
Yes.
So given the fact that Garwidwal is actually aligning himself with Johnson Olony, and Johnson Olony, you know him, he's a threat to Jing Padang. Don't you think we have a right to say, no, we're not comfortable with the way they form an alliance? If Garwidwal would have been an independent military movement, separate from Johnson Olony, I don't think we should be talking about the name of Garwidwal. Don't you give us the benefit of doubt on that at Jing Padang?
Yes, let me give you these two questions that you asked. Let me go back to Brother Matekte's question, or even your first question, Brother Bill. Yes, there are people within my community. Some people who claim to be politicians, but I don't think they have not reached the level of politician, that have formed their own party, call it Upper Nile Independent Movement.
Yeah.
But those are suitcase political parties that are formed in North America. And you know the person that I'm referring to. There's one young man that lives in North America that has been speaking on social media that he wants Upper Nile to separate it from the rest of South Sudan. But that person, Garwidwal will never work with what he said. That is your answer to what you said. There are people from my community that they are saying that they want Upper Nile to separate it from the rest of South Sudan. Yes, those are some young people from West that are saying this thing. But when it comes to your concern,
they have influence.
Yes, no, they don't. But when it comes to your concern about the alliance between Olony and General Garwidwal, yes, you have a legitimate concern of looking into. Sometimes you say a enemy of your enemy can be your friend. If you remember, Olony was the one that fought with SPLMIO first when he was with the government. So after he switched aside, then he came and formed ally with the SPLMIO because they see that their enemy is now government. So as you see, you're dealing with two separate movements. They just form coalition because they see themselves they have one enemy. You see, so yes, it's a legitimate concern to your community because Olunya has made it very clear that he wants to fight with your community. I would not, dispute that. It is a legitimate concern.
That means Garwidwal will actually harm us indirectly, and that is a concern. And another question is, now that Gerald Garwidwal is actually, Gerald Johnson Ulony is now against Dr. Riek Machar because he aligned himself with the Garwidwal. That means he's against Dr. Riek Machar leadership. And Dr. Riek Machar appointed his deputy in the command or in the rank of Agwelek forces. Don't you think it is a legitimate call for Dr. Riek Machar to replace this loyalist of Johnson Ulony with another person?
One of the reasons doesn't matter whatever you and I said, really. Riek Machar is not going to listen. One of the reasons why that person was appointed, because there is some sort of connection with his in-laws.
Yeah, but that connection is now being separated by the defection of Gerald Garwidwal and Johnson Ulony. So there's no more relationship.
Let me tell you this. You think that General Garwidwal defected, but General Garwidwal is saying that Dr. Riek has abandoned SPLMIO. So what they see right now, the IO is in the hand of General Garwidwal. He would be the one that implemented fees, including your next governor, will be appointed by him. So this is exactly what's going on. Let's wait for a month. We'll see how things going to fall. So within 1 month there will be.
Finally, before I let you go, whom do you think is going to be appointed as the faction under Garwidwal? Is Garwidwal not the legitimate candidate, given the fact that he's the one leading this movement against Dr. Riek Machar? Or is there any political rivalry between him and Honorable Duere Tut?
No. Well, the whole IO are under Garwidwal, as you are aware of. Garwidwal have not even yet made an announcement whether. So let us not talk about anything until he make an announcement. So I don't know if he will be reconciled with Riek or not. So it's too late to jump into conclusion. Duere Tut had already decided that he want to have his own movement. He declared himself as the candidate of his movement. So Garwidwal have not even made the declaration yet. There is a room for reconciliation between him and Riek. Let's wait until how things are going to fall, whether they will reconcile or not. So,
all right. Thank you very much, Peter.
All right.
Thank you very much, Peter. Wilson, look, I got 2 minutes to leave. I will leave you guys and then I come back.
Okay. Are you come up here? Well, buy Paul.
No. I can come up here. Lano yin can any prediction.
No, so
Wilson. All right, thank you, guys. I think it's not bad. We are talking about Memorial Day of the Matais. So if there are things attached to politics that could lead people into having more Matais people, people should talk about that. The politics here, even in the Western world, they talk during they have those days like that. That's where the political arena in the Western world kick in. So I was not prepared, but I am not shying away about comment on those of Garwidwal and Johnson Ulony. I know we will have a time. I don't know if Billy Luke and you, Matektek, watched the video. I did post the video 2 days ago where that is called Cholo TV. Taban nyandar wane yene jam Canada tena chilo achi met ki Garwidwal. If you go to the middle of chilo chigit mechanics kule matiki ngoban kaga katawa ka kwana na lagla we you can bag nim tek top of thing. So back to the individual issue with the with what is going on in Apernal. If you can post the comment that Daniel posted before, let me check if I can see it here. Written by one of the Shuluk guy.
Comment Shinga God.
When it told James, when Daniel knew what kind of.
Oh, when you got in?
Okay, yeah, I got it. So let me see if I can. All right. If you see that comment here, Jamaya Ginubin, you can read the comment that we highlighted. It was directed to me, but it is not me. It's directed the whole entire South Sudanese. Yep. And then the entire Apernal. So the guy say, Wilson, you're worried about SPLA and SPLA is not longer needed in Apernal region. The Apernal region is going to be independent country very soon. Just watch and see. This comment you cannot dismiss, and that's the dream of the Shuluk, trying to be another Arab using Nuer to achieve their own goal. So you not be surprised, and it is not surprised before the individual problem now with the Gadmacha. This one was brought up in May. There were a couple of Shuluk guys who declared themselves, even brother Bita as something joined them too. Dolargen. So there is a network here in the West who believe to have an Apernal independent, that they think that will solve their problem. But the problem, they are not telling themselves the reality. The whole rebel that you see, some, they don't need Dinka in general. They want to fight Dinka, kicking Dinka out of South Sudan. Some, they think they need a Nuer country. Some Shuluk thinking that they need a Shuluk independent kingdom. So these are the idea of the mind of the rebellion in Apernal people. We cannot dismiss them. We are watching them. Our intelligence is very strong. We know what is going on. But for those things to be a shift, independent of Apernal, people who talking about it, they don't see the geographical of the Apernal, how it looked like. That's the problem. They cannot study the tribes who are in Apernal. Are they going to be agreed? For example, the state of Jongle, you got Morle, you got Jir, you got Anuak, you got some of Kashipa. They are not even going along with the Dinka in Jongle or Nuer in Jongle. Because Anuak here is complaining that Yerakoba has been taken. Morle see themselves, they are not being represented in the state of Jongle, and that's why they have that problem. This is another part of Apernal I want to tell you. The Apernal region, not Apernal at the state now. You come to the Apernal state. Nuer, they don't go along with the Dinka within Apernal. The same to Maban and Koma. Maban and Koma have problem with the Nuer because of the border there they have with Gaja. And we, the Dinka, have a problem with the Shiluk. This is the Apernal. So people cannot, it is very easy to say the word, but when it comes to the practical, it is not going to be. But I know our neighbors, our brothers, whom ourselves, they don't bothering to start something. They are easy to create something that they don't know how this will going to be aimed. Now, you go to Unity State, the former Unity State. The former Unity State has group of the Dinka Padang within it. They are not going along with them because they were being mistreated, they were being misrepresented in the government of the Unity State, and that's why now they have a separate administration. So within the region of the Apernal region, you have a 2 separate administration, and 3 is going to come if the problem, the the Jiang Padang within the Upper Nile, they need to have their own administration, because the way we started these people, they are warmonger, and they will continue to preach the word they want. So for those who thinking that they will have an Upper Nile state, they need to study all this, how this will work, before even talking about independence. It will work only if the Nuer and Dinka understand themselves within Upper Nile. It will work if the Nuer treat, if the Nuer claim to be a majority in Upper Nile. It will work the Nuer treat the minority tribe like Anuak, like Maban, like Koma, like Morle into equal. That's where it will work. But are those going to work? No. But this is a really topic that, and that's it. What is behind this? The statement that you see, or the comment that we highlight. That is the idea of the rebel. Now coming between Wulong, and I am sorry, Uncle Garwidwal is going to be fall into our fathers in Upper Nile. He become a victim later, and that's where we have a land issues. When we were entering a daughter to marry them, and then Dinka and Nuer respectively culture, they respect their in-law. And that's where some of the Shilluk across the bank and come and stay with their in-law. That's what exactly is going to victimize some of the Nuer. Well, as we speak, he has 3 women from Shilluk as we speak. So for dismissing that he cannot do nothing, then serve it out. That's what I'm saying. In a Dinka and Nuer culture, they believe, you know, they can stick with their in-law. But while this in-law, can you trust them? Are they really do the good? No. So definitely, this is behind. They are not telling themselves the reality between Garwit and Wulong. Wulong is agenda is not a national agenda. He wants somebody that will give them the land of Denga, give them to Shilluk. That's what Wulong knows. And this is what I say before. With that politic of intermarriage, they will use some of the Nuer general. Like Garwidwal have 3 now. So he got a lot of in-law who are protecting him. For him being with Wulong, it's not just a Nuer from Law or just a general. He has already built a route. So if Wulong went out with war with Padang, I don't think he will stand back. He will fight alongside the Wulong, because he already have a 3 daughter from Shilluk that are his wife. This thing is not surprise to us, but when we talk here, people don't understand the Padang. But we told them that if there are people in South Sudan who are close to the Shilluk, it is Dinka Padang, not Nuer, not Maban, not what. We are the people who know in and out of these people. Regarding the language, I told you last time, we have 30% or 50% speak very good Shilluk language, and the same 30% to Nuer language. Because the Dinka are very liberal people who want to learn everything when it comes to the learning thing. And so the topic you raised, Comrade Nada, Jinubina are not going to understand what the Padang is saying until the action comes. So these are the hope of those elements in the rebel, but they are not in the same boat. Wulong want to use any Nuer general to fight his war if they can get a land of Malakal given back to Shilluk. That's what Wulong want to do now. Garwidwal, he said he need peace implementation with Riek Machar. This one I will not comment about it, because within that movement alone, you got 2 movements now. You got the so-called dual truth. It's been supported by a lot of people from Eastern Jikany Nuer. A lot of support. And then even today you read that there is a general who defect with a couple of 100, join him in Khartoum today. Join who?
In
Join
in Garwidwal wala
no,
very true.
Dwell
Oh,
to.
that is
Yeah. So that was today.
Eastern nowhere.
Yeah. Somebody joined him with a couple of hundred. He's the general, that guy.
Okay, but does this mean only Central Nuer is actually behind Gerald Garwidwal?
No. When it comes to Garwidwal, there are a lot of the Eastern and Central Nuer are supporting Garwidwal. But if you look at the other way around, some are supporting Dwertut.
Dwertut, yeah.
So
that means Dwertut will actually fool them away. They thought, I don't know, if they support Garwidwal, then Honorable Dwertut would be appointed as a political figure, and then Garwidwal remain as the military general chief of staff.
Correct.
Unfortunately, that's not the case. Now there is a wrangling because they are fighting over the leadership. Who should be the
leader,
the commander in chief, or become the leader of the party, the Pang party that defected from the territory?
Yeah. You got it. Yeah. So that alone, there is still a struggle among the defect away from the mainstream, the SPLM-IO. You got a two branch, the one head by Garwidwal and the one head by Dwertut.
Dwertut.
So they're totally independent, and they, like you say, they have a power struggle. Who can be a leader? In that case, they are not going to unite it. So these things are not easy. But since we are talking here, we can comment about it, and it is an Aprenal who will suffer, because any rebellion will be put in the Aprenal will be the Aprenalian. So, like you say, majority of those who are, I know this guy name who did the plaque and design is from Longware.
Galugria die. But I check Galugria that talking Nuera she got frustrated.
Okay.
We winning in Yogunu Sudan be liberated ko be bigalate ko kenake lose. So the option now ke regionalism. When big region begin succeed. Kwa yegi Yogunu na chika panal yo control. Ke strategy chiko on lo garamo view konku fight for whole Sudan. But now the area I tell
you the
that's
obstacle,
what it is. You know.
I tell you obstacle that where they cannot achieve it, because the Nuer are not allies with the tribe within Aprenal. The Aprenal is not belong to the Nuer. So if you look in Aprenal state right now, it has got 5 tribes. You go to Jongle, it may be more than 5. You got a Nuer, you got a Dinga, you got Anuak, you got Murle, you got some of Kashiba. So it may be 6. You go to the Unity State, you got Dinga and Nuer. Do they have a capability to bring these people? I don't think so, because a Nuer politician always use the language of force. If you don't want to talk to me, I force you out, or I take what I will take, which is not going to work in the current days. So the dream is there for the Aprenal, but like I tell you, obstacles are there. It's not going to work. Based on my research that I did, and based on what I tell you, the tribe of Aprenal, they are not going along to one another. So anybody who will keep the total independence of Aprenal is somebody who will bring the language of unity to unite the tribe of Aprenal first, before you talk about elaborating the some of us survived there, especially Jiang Padang survived during Egyptian, Angolian, during British, during whatever, we were there. So for somebody thinking which that he can whip us out, I don't think it's going to work. So it's a good topic to bring it up, but what I know, seeing Garwidwal is become their in-law, one way or another, he can be dragged into Aprenal problem. And that's why I say that he's making mistake of our father did. The problem our father did within the Padang, majority of them married to the Shulu. And now we become a victim. Our land has been taken by our in-laws, thinking that because we welcome them as in-law, now they turn around, they say, oh, this is our land. The same thing is going up into Garwidwal, seeing he already have a 3 wife from Shulu. Then definitely he's going to be dragged into this conflict of Jiang Padang and Shulu very soon. That's what I can say. Bila look at mute.
But we told him to jai. Ke ba nyoga juak tin. Huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
Camping?
Yeah, you be anything. No, good. Go ahead.
Okay. Ke lo la ke wujo Martin ke jam te chi twala don ta kati jiran chi de nen Peter. Ku ka che lo ngula le ne kene in ke ideology in to behind ran chi gar wujwal. Because then ke lui majority of the IO supporters en ke lui ke push. The only option left man ti ne ke wuj bale we ke we jing padang particular ku ja we jing dai. That nu ke to wenam en gar wujwal. Ku kara ngai jo kumi kin man te cha gan Peter ti ko chi Peter chi deny won ke political karang angi jinu cha ga manu luene denied because they see the much so don't believe kichi Peter chilwil wen ga un chi matete ke bere gulele yen ka chi ne evident taw this is politics ku politics ke ko evident ade ka woni ka tian ku ne cha ingi kudui ku ba kon ni ne kan ke ka chi le wona sie da to kenin ke nen ting nu na dai ke de ke loy ranang no ne ran do ne opon ndu ku de ke loy ke sie da den chadan tin ke na wi baniri ku ba yubi so reason why ogen ko bu ba nya ne kan ko bu jama ideology de ne gar widwal ke jam gule le na panal no lo separate na cha ke yene deri ke we jing ke ngo jam gule yin jing pa danga yin chi wuja panal yin jing di jong le yin chi wuja panal elo le bo chwa we language e yin bu ku ja deri ke jing gebilar ko top ya panal e support being nim de twala o de ni mak na de political ideology chadan tin ka ko ku bu gangi ke jamanu na chi ga panal ku chi ga luararu ke ka chi ga chi ko jiten kin bi ke belati ko ba da ke ge loy ne ke chi ke ne ga chi jon to no lon abag de ne wi ke ye chulu bi ga yo but then they try to make umbrella ko intro de ka bi jola se ba de to ke ne ga o ye ge tie ko ka ke siedi durane opponent du no lo believe play your own game wala chei ke ya conspiracy but we conspiracy ene yubi conspiracy ago ngi jinu o dai future ko chole man bi den ko munju o ko chi ko munju o le kino dai to ye ne kene aka believe in ke ta on ka gen le yen according to military planning den ke oil areas ke ka wubi ka moji ko bi ke lu nyoji na chi ke dom kala te ngi jinu chi ka panala chi kararo then min ke chole hukumo bita jinu Sudan a chi suffocated a chi de chi go beta ko yen in ge taw ke Equatoria man jemo ko ne ge taw ga ko kon ga pana ake bargadal ene chin ko woni jo jama ideology ko le yen o tembi ke bargadal jo ne tok bat lakin man tin jemo mano na ne le Peter ko le yen majority of ko woni siedin ge jam what section of pana le the region ke from the central no woni bi gar wi ba tin ko ne bi en tin Peter uchir mana che yen won tong chol galugriet kana che yen tok. If you do the public opinion, Kuloy and Sabay, Kayogunu majority, the Wujunu, and when Atan Bapanal blow here Dwalla. When Gaka will yin jing padang, yin jing ka panal, in Chukui. Kayoga victim manake, were no okay, Georgie, could I no be? Yokula Naja wrote that and go Dwalla, a cake quite. Kayin in Wako book your peg. Why, and Chin Mitchell Adral and a jam little bit on the baby. Lakin Kayal, Kayam and the region. Aya lo ende na be no go pin de gi to ke chulu ku lo be adola ke era den a chinam real ba no bane na ye ke wonu Martin bi pin de ben Martin ka cha wi I don't know about other tribe ma ban ku komo ku jela nywa ku murule abi ke den wel abi their opinion so political ideology kene a chila be ala ku lui free out there kula madi ji ko re ne kan kulele yin ayena biya karana ban akila baralo ya wala them I have to have it say because they are in a part of the Apanal as a region so yin here man Apanal ikiniga yoga she good idea and it will never work kunale lui kene pindi ka ye jinga bayanti ka gie to kulele yen to ka ye junu Sudan inke opinion nika to advocacy da ke jam ka unte e kutinge ka bo kwa we jinga Apanal ban aloy ki gno we ga da bilar ko ke tek da ga loy ke no lakin dia ta prize ba den le ga malia ke je loy indi ga big loy ka kwa ke ne ta ko ke kum nam ka sakre den because ke yoka very sensitive when ga ko ne Peter and deny wa a che ko with strong evidence because the rhetoric ga ko ni mane statement ta ja ba ni Alin Wilson ma kana evident elwele father ke ko ke nyin kwa ko chi ko ba chalti
toka ke taw queen toka no god no won and up to similar
o ran chol jim da wag
na gata ka ken mon chu
okay whoever will win the war in Upper region will have his wish. It doesn't matter Padang and Bor are on board or not. We have the capability. African Union, you got an international community support. You see? So these are the justification of what we are actually talking about. The political ideology of Garwidwal and Gerald Johnson Ulony is now culminating into this idea of separating Upper Nile as a region from South Sudan as a nation. But what I'm saying, as the son and daughters of Upper Nile, who are opposed to the succession of the Upper Nile as a region to become an independent country, is the fact that we do not want to be part of this. We want to remain as South Sudan. And if you want to make your own country, you need to actually demarcate your own tribal territories and make it an independent country. That is your opinion. But Upper Nile that will include my areas will never be acceptable. That is my point as Billy Look. That's what I want to let my other people know. Thank you.
You say a good point. These are the evident and ideological behind all these things. Let me correct this guy called Jabril. Jabril, we know that we are talking the region of Upper Nile, like the people who propose it.
Yeah, we're talking about region. We're not talking about Upper Nile as the state. That's so, I don't know how you got it.
That when it comes to Upper Nile as the state, they are not. But when it comes to the region, they are in the region.
Yes.
Now, for what I told you before, the only thing that can work in Upper Nile is the tribal state, not independent. Yeah, look. Because if you see the geographical of Upper Nile, there is the River Nile where divided Dinka into two and Nuer into two. The unity state are in the west of the Upper Nile with the Dinka. You come to the eastern Upper Nile, there is the Dinka Bor here, and there is the Dinka Padang in the far north, and the Nuer in the middle. And then you got Anuak behind the Nuer. And you got Morle, got some border with the Nuer. So, like you say, if the Nuer can carve out their map, it's not going to work because they are in the wrong direction, in the wrong geographical places. The only thing can work is a tribal state, like what happened in 32 states. Because people in Upper Nile or in South Sudan, they live based on their county geographical. If those counties tend to be state, then this can work. But independent Upper Nile is not going to work based on all these problems. But we cannot say that, we cannot dismiss. We know what is going to be happen. But like I said before, they can see now the tribe of Upper Nile, they are not getting along. And that's where we lose everything. We lose a political gain because the tribe within Upper Nile, they are not speaking the same language. They are not on one boat. And those who claim to be majority in Upper Nile, they are threatening to the Dinka opponent, whether within Upper Nile or all region of South Sudan. So that one is not going to work. That's where you see Salva Kiir is winning because Salva Kiir is again Nuer in Upper Nile, some Shilluk in Upper Nile, then the IO. So politically, the Upper Nilean are not going to have independent state based on all obstacles. They can write, somebody like James can write as much as he wants. They are doing their study, and that's where he say that whether the Padang and Jingbor are in one boat. If something that does not need Denga, then it will bring us into one boat. We both in Upper Nile. But at this time of anybody thinking about rebellion, the only rebellion that would won last time, it was 2013, were very planned by the people who planned it, but they failed. But right now, there is no way you can win that rebellion right now, as we speak. We are still on our tribal basis. Jiang Boer is still in the Boer territory, in the Jongle. There is no too much integration with the Lawnwer or with Murle. The same to us. There is no any movement now within Upper Nile. So anybody will come to attack our counties, it will be known by daytime. So 2013 war, people were mixed. Let's make that war go faster and capture some of the big city because people were together. But right now, you go to the Ruang are now themselves independent administration. You go to Murle, they are independent. So for anybody thinking now he can win the war, he's a loser. He may be a warmonger mindset without no strategy, without no calculation about the geographical or about the tribe who live in that state. It's not going to work. But in case of Johnson Wulong and Garwidwal, they are deceiving themselves because they don't want to tell truth to one another. And that's why you see the...
Yeah, sorry, we lost you.
Huh?
Welcome back. You need to tell man.
Oh, okay.
Network you left network go to that home.
Network is mushkila ko jar. Oh. You get a charger in actually. Let me put it back.
Okay, let me comment a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Wilson, the motive why these rebel commanders are actually entertaining the idea of separating Upper Nile from South Sudan is because they are frustrated to actually liberate the entire South Sudan. So what they want to do here is to focus on the region and think that they can actually, that is the last resort because they are actually frustrated. And this is a sign of weakness within the rebel of Upper Nile. So they just want to dream like what the Tigray people in Ethiopia have actually done. That is what is in their dream. They think they can do that, you know. But the reason why we are so critical of that is because we are part of the Great Upper Nile as a region. So we as other tribes, we will not allow that to happen. Because you talk about the geographical location, is very regular. You know, they're not in a one specific location whereby they can actually make a country as a new nation, or they can actually combine themselves with the other tribe, particularly maybe including Chiluk. But the reason why they want to form that alliance is because they are actually trying to play a game so that they can actually get an advantage. Maybe they want to use this as a revolutionary cause so that they unite those people, those particular tribes, so that they can actually be able to achieve their selfish interests against the other tribe. And this is never going to happen. This is a serious and it remains an existential threat against us, especially Oko Jiang Fada. So can I call Bogan Yin Tao in a dick? Ukoko Bug like Sudan, a government that no exclusive territorial integrity the Sudan matter to all of us. A yeekle Equatoria, Gulian Blue separate, a Chico Broleo, Chico entertaining. But I book the internal jurisdiction, would they be established in an administrative area, a county, a boomer, and no, being yet beyond much Monday, who jocular lure man go Junubin under one federal government. That is good thing to do. But the K and Nagamro Bello $1 I see it below none. So can one way to empower themselves. But I'm yet way when check out desperate to get weakness. In K Ranchiga we dwell and know again Ranchid. So in a dream talk can awake a bad believer. A Koyaka think a blue comment and take a supporters Agwele with the supporters Kigar Widwell. So okay, it's not just a check confidential. And yeah, we will Jing and Afanal, you believe which thing in do. But Kakasia Dina de Kaunaka Kumim, Kachil like Jim Wilakana Bolo. So, in that way, when I can call Banjam Tea, Bagan Nijinu, this is what is coming. Kayoga Jing out of Jonglei, who Jing out of Apanal, Jing to Ruing, Ayaki ignore Achikating a big issue. You know? But politics, in and the rhetoric when entertained by majority of those constituencies, it become a political cause. So away I call back in Tautin, Kako in lawyer you do and media, Bowick lawyer educated, Engoto. Yen and Michel over and Chigar Widwell. Lakin natural law line the Grand Chief Johnson, Loniran, and Willie and a quine down, whether Jing of a down, whether thing. Marking a big threat. A big threat. Yen guy you topic in a child does it in Van Wilton, then you call Bogjam team, Emantin, Kira and Chigar Widwell, the Johnson Olin, a Chig Gallery Michako. Quran and Nebde, and Johnson Ulun, and number 2 yen choke in the command with our well forces. Here yen around Kijala book of 1 to 5. Here would you see the Siezi Ranun and loyal to Nek, which in every which is Jal, Gran Chidok Rick Macha, I didn't right be Tamzin below, be quite a low check, and Antoka yen. When Anjijal quite I go meet up. Woko Jing for down constituencies, we have a right, who read Micha, book engage politically, could be level. Yin Rick, Ran Genegaran number 2, the Ran Chid Johnson Lane. Who Johnson Lone Corbett on Low. We enter an iron Madakocha Durko. 18 would be bang or crack, Carriel do, Kayin legitimately down to need to be IO. Chuck Dongomantini Kitchen Cow, majority agent, it doesn't matter, he's still okay legitimate because in a partner to the field of women. So Yin Rick Micha, Calabeloy. Rana will like with the check. Hey, way, hey, ride, don't go away for down. We will bang jot, for you will end Jarala Buto, and allow them book our call for his removal. Because Rande, Commander in Chief, when I will like, Chilman Ten Woolen, I call Betong Low again at Jing for that. Urana back when number 2 day, back when they actually on the one, and Woolen in K. Kunajar Antwi, we get on Jot, Urana to see, Mark and make a chicken or Malakal. After you, we will follow Jing for that, but try to again a door. So follow take a check at tea. Yeah, you know,
look, Kulwil Kanay, Taban took really a week ago. We are calling for removal of this governor because his boss is rebel, and he said last time, you know, he's a Johnson Wulong and Johnson Wulong is him. So there is no question about that. Ganmaicha is doing his own homework now, based on some other news. In a really chamat, Jolga quite didn't wear one, Juba, Colacola one. Got my charity, chia disagree. The winning Yankane to Magic in Chiloke intelligent. I tell you, like, Nor will away, Kitcha that young group with the Eastern Bank, which is Central Nuer with the Eastern Nuer. Galachiran Babe Bay Nyal week. We one and a quite bay Nyal, ye garot, garquot, yin adian, ban each wall ngadian, but chick ban meditation. Barani, you really winning Yankana week, Galan no gronial. Winning Yankana, a brave cartoon to angelo mobilization, Iranchi and week and winning Yankana, can win Yankana maintaining ahead of the mobilization. Yen we were mobilized, we open. McGinnis, Kabumu, a big Mujurka Paki. Fire can.
Ranun you got that when came when you are the signal then pay.
Yeah.
So what you know about civilized, I didn't call she were better another world.
Yeah.
And then Daman one day, tell guy she for one, and Nicola talk.
No, indeed, they see the we play, see the Indian Merco Murmulai, they will a year and a chinky giant in a kiss alarm, Logan, Wood here. I hear them a team Chaka Jam, I will have become quantity in and Wood around. But a cheer you did it. I cheer on it. What Shakuma did it. But then get you over peer, German like this, a brother from Shuluku have been writing James. What you don't know? You need to elaborate the West Bank first. As we speak, there are a South Sudan army in Watakona, in Kodok, in Kaga. You need to elaborate them before to come to Apadang land, because I don't think talking about oil field 24 hours you can damage it. I don't think it's going to work. So in your own backyard, including the so-called Pashoda Batakumbata King, there is the government forces there that you need to fight them before you come and fight us. If you are preparing for a fight. And that's it, the reality at Jinubin. We show you the common. These are the dream of what is going on in Meganis. I'm coming to my conclusion. Their dream is, and that's why you see they are delaying not to announce, because the mission statement is not clear whether they want to come out and say we need Upper Nile independent or we are an IO. So they are struggling. And who will be the leader within the IO? So there is a lot of consultation now. Some of the smart Nuer who know this is not going to work, they are trying their double market. If they can bring Garwidwal back to the same boat with Garmacha. This is now, you see the delaying, there are people talking. But this guy got a lot of support where he'd been pushed a lot. So majority of Nuer believe in Garwidwal, which we who can calculate it, like my own person, it's not going to work. Garmacha tried to say, Garmacha into Maravita, educated. He spent 5 years talking. He come to the United States and all this. Lakin Garwidwal, no dakal baden fi mushkila bitaw do sigin wala dakal somewhere. Indo nuzwan bigger kalam anu? I don't think so. Fajadel is a wishful dream for Garwidwal. To me, I told him that you're not going to win it, uncle. With Women, there is nothing you will win it. Within alone, you can see example. You are dividing yourself, the same Nuerson, dual tooth, and you here, dual tooth is from Nasser, which is, he got a lot of supporters from Nasser all the way to Gaja. And you here, from the other hand, you got supporters from Law Nuer and your in-law Shiluk. So, there is still a problem within you guys that will not make your field to be legitimate. And then you can stay there until the dry season come and you will see what will be the consequence. So the good way, if I were you, with all supporters you have, you should have to go in and mobilize Nuer within Juba, and then go to the government openly that Garmacha, we don't need him while you are in Juba. You can take him out. But declaring the war, I mean, like Dolchut, he become a chairman of the IO while he is in Khartoum. That is the daytime dream. It's not going to work. Garmacha is trying his best now. And I say last time, Garmacha, even if he does not get supporter from the Nuer, he will mobilize his own other people. But Garmacha also has the support from the IGAD, from the Troika, from those who were pushing him to come in. Now, if you look, this whole thing will be spoiled because of the military arrangement. Then people have no mind. We have a civilian leadership had been established. People went back to 10 states. There are 10 governors that have been appointed by the all parties. The counties commissioner are there. The parliament is being done. People are appointed. Now what is left is the so-called military arrangement. And that's what you want to bring it as an obstacle. If you have a mind, I don't think so. This is, to me, I will say these people who are calculating this is not going to work. Because one, the African Union are tired with the case of South Sudan. The IGAD are tired with the case of South Sudan, where majority of the IO seen defection of Gadet defect by itself. He formed his own movement. Then later he formed the guy called Johnson, defect from IO, formed his own movement. And then later you got Garwot Garkwat defect and formed his own movement. And then later you got Taban when they went in, form another IO. You know, so if you look at this, the case of the so-called 20 Nuer who has been killed has been forgotten by the Nuer politician. So they are looking for position. They want to create more rebellion that will give more position, more general, more parliamentarian, more whatever they want. That's what it look like now. So I will advise those who are pushing these old men to defect from Machar because of the military arrangement, while everything that will look, you know, there is a state government, there is a county government, and there is a national government has been formed with the national MP. The ministers have been working. They were appointed by different parties. Like as we speak, Minister of Defense is from IO, Minister of Oil is from the IO, and so there is nothing going to work here. The only thing they should have to go in, Garwidwal, and unite themselves and went and talk to the government. Vote Garmachar out. They can call a meeting, an SPLM meeting within Juba as the party, and vote Garmachar out. They will get supporters from the other South Sudanese who are members of the SPLM-IO who have been left out by Garmachar because Garmachar appoint his own family to be the people in the cabinet. This should be the wise decision they will do, rather than now talking about, oh, we will stay here if the peace is not going to be implemented. I mean, integration. Yes, what is left here, Junubin and international, is just integration of the army. And that's what the people are taking now. So, Billy, look, I will stop here. I think we exhaust the case. And we will...
No, but your coach, jam na coach ten. A year and get that ball away. Jam take the go back. Can I book your bellow in Yaki chok that Pursa or Badin walk out? They can't see my take prepare one, but then can't you go jala quite the Louis will know quite.
I can use video in Yanako Bajalaway, the way you meet it in 1 hour and 30 something like the water. A bucket tea, and you tell me to go Jalga.
Video?
Yeah. Video with a Terzina one, and we met together.
Oh, okay. Oh, they can't get one channel again. They can't get a Paul.
I can't take a Paul the TV than the Cholo. I can look for one about Louis Paul in particular.
Oh, okay. Eh, now they can't really look. They can't get you very important. We can analyze. I'll book a coffee and pass.
Yeah, the Kachuro will, a chicken will, Kalu, Garidan can you a ban on the coach.
Can you get on in Ben Wilton? Who now be momentum down on Jungi logo back when Polly are yoking. You know, well, that's why they keep an eye on this media. But in Taugan call booked on opens. I'm an old jam will like a bigger with a low inky. Who could talk a cranky. The cake out of all way when Boga deal taking away look big and you can achieve you. Yin said your teeth, but and the upper down with your teeth until Mitchell your low. But they couldn't get by too late by then. Why do you 10 by then the chin damn but responded? So we gotta be on offense. You know, a campaigning the Kuchola Bulo, a recommendation I yoke liberal. Here support the Padang to Juba, broad yacht, could be a political campaign. A book is a big low. We work at the Mulira and Tiria. A bulldog at the port boy. He jam one and may she one jam can get one. It's can a bell of yap. Jam what Jamulan, a can do Babu dog boy. A walk with Lego Goran Marito. Nika lock again and keep Johnson. You see, when I get a low man, otherwise it's like, no, I do not within, why do not lose the grand entry? I don't get duty. In get politica. Like in politics, we never are honest, we don't know what you evident, what you can. No, I check all evident. You see, Lloyd Aligarku, who can get away, who can get them call book and let you Sudan and Nukata and keep the ritual caken. Who call Bapanal, but afraid. Now, Luapanal will lose afraid. Kabideta weekly, the national government, Sudan. So they have to focus. You see, 10 by then, you'll have get a big deal. So can you go see the 10? Like you know, you book your teeth until we then go with your low, Jalala, with your value respond. A canon get a Michel Dakako, Jim Fada. In Chile.
Watching about the coach then. It is a Matai days, happy Matai days, every SPLA, Waye, SPLM Waye. We'll meet again later tonight.
You know, come or jam, Tinichagamia, you could put a cocoa ben or colo Matai day, who did your Ben Paul. Otherwise, yeah, and you go back with the value.
Yeah.
In Chile. Right. So that's the end of the program, ladies and gentlemen. I think this program was all about commemorating the 16th anniversary of the Matai Days, which I refer to as Dr. John Garang Mabior Day. This is the day when late Dr. John Garang Mabior died. But they designate this day to all the fallen heroes, all the fallen martyrs are recognized on this particular day. But before, I did actually express my personal opinion that this day should have been designated only for late Dr. John Garang Mabior, because this is the day when he died. Unfortunately, that's not the case. According to the leadership of the SPLM-SPLA, they came to the conclusion that this day should be considered as a Matai Day. As a Matai Day for all the fallen heroes and heroines, to give them that recognition for the service and for the sacrifice. So I beg to disagree on that as an individual. But that is something that is already acceptable to majority of you as South Sudanese. That's okay. The second topic was about the ideology why Gerald Johnson Ulun took up arms. He took up arms to fight the Jing Fadang over the territorial dispute. The second topic that I also addressed is about Gerald Garwidwal political ideology, military manifesto behind him as we speak, as the group that defected from Dr. Riek Machar. Is actually considering fighting for the liberation of the Upper Nile region and make it as an independent country. That is the rumors coming out of the camp with Garwidwal and Gerald Johnson Ulun. So they want to liberate the Upper Nile and declare it as an independent country. And this is why we should be concerned as people of Greater Upper Nile region that this is never going to happen under our watch. It will never happen and it will never be recognized. So I want to educate you, the general public, particularly Upper Nilean tribe, so you go make your own judgment. That this is not it's not a good ideology, it's not a good case. So it will never happen. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I think we will talk about this next time. Upper Nile will never. My friend, I will delete you if you continue to behave like this. Then you will not see this. You will not see this program anymore. I delete you. I'm going to delete you. You are blocked, Nyal Kwong. You are blocked because of your negative comment. Will not be entertained on this forum. We may disagree on issues, but you have to comment respectfully, politely, without abusing anyone. All right, thank you very much, Jim Dawak. If that is the case, I wish you good luck, and we will see what happens. So thank you very much, everyone. We check a lay, you can die, or we jab around. Nearly away. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen, and of our program. See you next time.